Welcome back. All right, so some signing news. It's not the signing news that people might be waiting for, John Klingberg, Nazem Kadri, and such, but there are some signings being made, and depth is important in the National Hockey League. So the Nashville Predators signed Zach Sanford, a one-year deal for Sanford worth $850,000. So bottom six forward, going back to the Central Division. We'll see how things go for him in Nashville. The Toronto Maple Leafs last night adding some depth to their blue line. Both Jordy Ben and Victor Mete added at league minimum, $750,000 contracts, no risk there. For Ben, veteran player, number 7 defenseman, Mete, bottom 2 pairing kind of defense. So it is a good depth move by Toronto there. The Buffalo Sabres, Lawrence Pilot is returning. So a couple of days after the GM was heard saying that he kind of liked to bring Pilot back, he does, 1 year, league minimum. Also signed Savoy, Ostlund, and Kulich. So all 3 first-round picks for the Buffalo Sabres have signed their entry-level contracts, and the Buffalo Sabres continue to make moves that I think are pretty smart. So while Detroit and Ottawa might overshadow them, I think Buffalo's made some good moves as well. Also, the Winnipeg Jets bringing in Kyle Capobianco. He signs a 2-year deal worth $762,500 per season. The Winnipeg Jets, of course, looking for a little bit of depth on the blue line. They get that there. Brad Hunt signed to a contract by the Colorado Avalanche for 2 years. The money number isn't out there yet, the actual figure. I would think probably $800,000. That's what he had last year in Vancouver. Probably 8, maybe 850. He played well in Vancouver last year. I thought he had an underrated season. So nice to see him land on his feet in Colorado. Third pairing, number 7 guy, ideally. But yeah, Hunt, when he was called into action for the Vancouver Canucks, played well enough last season. Also, the Florida Panthers, they continue to get these guys who might be looking for a bit of a bounce back. They pick up Mayhew. They sign him to a 1-year league minimum deal. So a lot of league minimum contracts being signed right now as teams round out their rosters. These are for teams that have basically got it all decided, and they're just trying to make sure they're having that depth up front on the blue line and potentially in net as well. So Mayhew, who I thought had some good games last year, we'll see how things turn out for him in Florida. Martin Frk, one of the hardest shots in the league, sadly ends up playing in the AHL a lot. But he's been signed by the St. Louis Blues, 1-year league minimum for him as well. He'll probably end up in the AHL more often than not, but if he gets called up, he can get the odd goal here and there. I mentioned Sateri yesterday. Sateri, I'll go back to calling him Sateri, even though Sateri is the name that was used by the announcers. It's all fine, doesn't matter, because he's gone back to Europe. He signed with the Swiss League, so I guess there wasn't enough NHL interest, or maybe it just wasn't a contract to his liking, one way or the other, maybe both. And so, yeah, he goes to the Swiss League, signs a 2-year deal there, so his NHL career probably done with that. Got into the 6 games with the Coyotes last year. Not yesterday. They didn't play 6 games yesterday. Sorry, Coyotes fans. But yeah, 6 games last year with the Coyotes. Also, Max Pacharetti, when talked to by the press, says that he feels he's 100%. He's ready to go. Determined to have a solid full season and to contribute with Carolina. He is anxious to play for Rod Brind'Amour and in the Carolina organization, saying all the right things. So for Pacharetti, it is a chance to bounce back. Yes, he does tend to get hurt often, but it's just part of how he plays the game, and we'll see how many goals he puts up for Carolina. Again, I like what Carolina did because they didn't get the kind of action in the free agent market that they might have wanted to, but they still found a way to spend that money without losing anything off their roster. And also a smaller move that may end up being a decent one for Seattle as well. Adding a little bit of toughness with John Hayden on a 1-year, $750,000 contract. And a lot of these league minimum contracts are 2-way deals, so if they play in the AHL, they'll make a little less money. But all of them are signed for league minimum at the NHL level. Yeah, so there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. If you're a Sabres fan, how do you feel about Pilot coming back? How do you feel about them signing all 3 of the first-round picks today? And how do you feel as a fan of any of these teams about the signings that were made? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.